tracks right here that make y'all wanna jump. Make you shake your tongue, my dear. Smile and wave your hands in the air. Boogie down from the country to the town. We got that brand new sound, and it's going down.
Let me know you're my own. Fatuma said them they go. Massa go by here.
88.5.
Alice throw away your malice. You are for member.
Hot tamales.
Hey, get
Yeah, I get to see the podcast. Yes. What a wonderful way to welcome you to Earth Beach. And this is where we look into really, we're going to do like I hope it's look at this morning program and with emphasis on struggling, distribution, and the using of narcotics. So the struggling, the distribution, and the music of narcotics. So that's what we'll be talking on the program this morning. Be my guest till 9 o'clock, and trust me, it's gonna be very, very, very educative, and you just not want to miss it. But let's take a gist of the theme song. When we come back, then we start to talk about the program this morning. Be my guest. The big issue of the program is going to be exclusively on the issue of drugs. I mean narcotic substances. Yeah, now the tablet. Oh, no, I'm talking about narcotic substances. So that's what we're going to be talking this morning, and with emphasis on the issue of smuggling and the distribution, that of the usage of those narcotic substances. So, firstly, welcome again. My name is Otis, the Marshal Santo. I'm here this morning. It's good to have you following. Thanks so much for joining us wherever you're joining us from. Don't forget, let me remind you about that. The King Support Basket is ongoing and the same with numbers is attached to the screen. You can take advantage of it and make your own contribution for the kind of accurate and balanced broadcast you need to have for your education, entertainment, that of maximum, you know, I mean, the issue of broadcast. Yeah, so for those of you following the radio, let me announce the number. Basket. For the same one, we have plus 231 triple five 885 885 plus 231 triple five 885 885. The mobile money number is 0555 885 885 0555 885 885. And for the Orange, some of you are Orange user, you want to send your own amount to Orange, your own contribution, you can send it through 0777 017 885. And again, 0777 017 885. Somebody said I should read the number again. Yeah, let me do it again. Okay. So it says plus 231. That's the same with plus 231 triple five 885 885 plus 231 triple five 885 885 is exclusively for those of you who are in the diaspora. Yeah, you're in the diaspora, you want to make a contribution. That's the same with number. For the mobile money number, maybe you are locally, if you are in Nigeria, is 0555 885 885. 0555 and for the orange is 0777 017 885. 0777 017 885. Your contribution will be, help to continue the broadcast. And we are located between 5 Street. We are way here at our office. Make a contribution. Trust me, it will be very helpful. So, welcome to the program. It's good to have you following whenever you follow us from. Thanks so much for joining me on the program this morning. Like I said, we're going to be looking at the issue of drugs. Yeah, the issue of drugs, not just any kind of drugs, drugs, narcotic substances. Yeah. So first, let know what is drugs. Let us know what is drugs because let us know the thing called drugs. Let us know what is drugs, narcotic drugs, illegal drugs. Let us know what is it. So the serious narcotic in the legal sense is quite different from that used in the medical context. Yeah? And it is, it says the term narcotic in the legal sense is quite different from that used in the medical context, which denotes specific inducing agent. Legally, a narcotic drug to be an opiate, a true narcotic cannabis, a non-narcotic or cocaine. The very antithesis of the narcotic since it is a stimulant. So, unlike the medical drug, the tablet when you go to the hospital, you know what you take. This drug we're talking about here today is narcotic. It is illegal. Unlike the tablet and sorrows and other stuff you take when you are not well and you visit the clinic, the hospital, and the health facility. This one I'm talking about is illegal drugs. So that's what I want you to know. Narcotic drugs. Okay. So narcotic drugs, like I said, is illegal. And let me bring a microphone of you small. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was small. Yeah. We're here today. Now I'm not turning back. It's a whole day thing. So, I mean, if you look around us in our country, drugs, the issue of drugs abuse, the issue of drugs, it is taking over our entire country. It is taking over our entire country, and we are sitting there supinely. Whether you are a young person, you are an elder man or woman, you are a teacher, a doctor, a father, a pastor, a imam, we are all sitting supinely and watching. Probably because it is not affecting us at the moment. Maybe one of our family or friends or relatives is not into drug the use of drug use. That is why it is not really into moving us. But I mean, this thing continues to penetrate our society and break the young fabric. Now, you know, Liberia is a very young society. Hmm? If you check our population, the last time when they did the census, I got to realize that vast majority of our population are very young. That means 60 plus percent of the population are very young. So in all, we have a very young population. Unlike other countries around us, our young population is very young. So you know what I mean. If you have a young people around, I mean between the age of 18 to 35 years, we have a very young population. But those people are the ones who are heavily using drugs, who are heavily into drugs. We call them Zogo, disadvantage, whatever you want to tell them. But it is still in the fabric of our country. It is still in the fabric of our society. And and let me tell you something. When Mary son is doing drugs and Martha's son is not doing drugs, Martha feels that her sister or her son is better than Mary's son. And what she fails to realize, for the fact that Mary's son is doing drugs and her son is not doing drugs, they're going to automatically accept her own child. So instead of going and talking to Martha's son and say, oh, why are you doing drugs and be a parent? Because one person not one child. Eh? Maybe the woman alone will carry the child in her womb, but when that child comes outside, it becomes everybody's child. Instead of talking, you know, taking issues, taking that into consideration, oh, talk to my child. Oh, why are you doing drugs? Why are you making yourself this way? You can even reach out to matter and have conversations surrounding your own child. But because it is not your child, so you sit back and buy more of matter child, say, look at our own child, he taking drugs, oh, children is for. But sooner or later, you get to realize that your own child, who you felt was better than matter child, start to take drugs too. The reason is those kids mingle. There are places to meet that you, the matter, and the Mary and the parents cannot be. They're where they meet. And that's where the peer pressure comes in. So, as long as matter child is doing drugs, Mary, if a child is not doing drugs, you should feel threatened. It should be an alarm to you, and you should be able to take any necessary step as a parent, as a mother. Not because your child is not directly, doing drugs. That doesn't mean that the other people's child or Mary's daughter or son that is doing drugs, your child is better than Mary's son. No, that's where some of us are still parents. But we'll come to first. Let's start with the smuggling of drugs. Smuggling. We have some people who are ordinary people they are following. You will now understand the term smuggling. But smuggling is taking something illegally from one point to another. Hmm? That means you have to carry it, smuggling. It's not legal. You're not doing it for everybody to see. You're doing it on a cover. So the issue of drug smuggling in our country, let me tell you people, if you visit our very entry point in Liberia, the border, there are DEA officers, and their job there is to make sure that the drugs narcotic substances don't cross into our border. But have you asked yourself where the issue of drugs is on the increase, even though there are DEA officers deployed at this bigger entry point, at this real border point? We ask yourself why. So now what's the time when you see the DEA officer now running, they say go and arrest drugs people now, I say the people that they are very lazy set of people. That pretense they are on. Because the first start of preventing drugs is at the border point. But you allow it to enter the country. Then when you enter the country now, the time of point say running people were using it. So that fight is a feeble fight. That's how I consider it. It's a feeble fight. If you really want to fight it at the border point. But let me tell you why drugs is easily smuggled in our country. Because we don't have a very good security. The security, especially the LDEA, with the responsibility to tackle the issue of drugs, they have been compromised. Look, I cannot miss my war on this. The LDA has been compromised from time immemorial. That's how it's left. That's how it's left. So you find out drugs will be in our country. It's on the increase. It's on the high scale. Who tells you that drugs can enter Guinea? Who tells you that drugs can enter other country Africa? But after my research that I did before coming on the radio, Sierra Leone, Liberia is one of the largest in West Africa. Sierra Leone, Liberia, Gambia, Cape Verde, these are the largest transit points for drugs in Europe and Asia. You got the drugs come mainly from Mexico, the Caribbean. If you look at the transit, Liberia is no exception. Liberia, Sierra Leone, Gambia, Cape Verde, these are the largest transit point for drugs in the Europe and Asia. Well, you don't know. It can happen in other countries. In Guinea, drugs you can go there. It's not as compared to how it is in Liberia. In Liberia, the drug smugglers, the even sleeping said they bring drugs. They know that the security can bypass the security. It's not tight. In Guinea, they can carry drugs, but the smuggler can be very careful. They can carry drugs there, but they can be very careful. Oh, yes. But in Liberia, when the people bringing drugs, they can be relaxed. So now I say, well, when you see a cash drugs dealer, the first thing when they even catch a drugs dealer, how many things can happen to them? What more you can hear from it after they say they arrest the other person smuggling or they arrest the other person? Most of the cases can be in country. Most of the cases of drugs, it can be in country. That means they already cross the border, they enter the country, maybe they crossing coming Kakata, they coming to Nima, they're already in the country. And most of the reason why they can catch them is because some of them they are differences. Apparently, the enrichment that was made, prior to them coming in with drugs, they didn't live up to the agreement. That's the reason some of the time they can say they catch drugs smuggler. So the amount of drugs at the end of the country is more than the amount of drugs they can arrest. So let's assume out of 100, 80% of the drugs can enter the country freely. 80% of the drugs can enter the country freely. 80% of the drugs enter the country freely. Then maybe the 10%, then I only can say the arrested individual were arrested with 355 kilograms of marijuana, the DA arrested. Oh, my scam. Are you looking around you? If the issue of drug smuggling is very serious, but the security is very tight at this zone entry border point. Yeah? Don't get me wrong. Our country drugs are entering. Gaining drugs entering. Africa is a state. But it is not as compared to Liberia. The issue of smuggling drugs in our country is very easy and common. That's why you see the drugs on the increase. They started bringing 100 flavor. So you get 80% of it, and if you get 10% of it, can you 80%? You're fighting. Is that the job you are doing there? Is that why you are posting at the village? The FDA officer are negotiating with smugglers. In fact, some of us very LDA officers are the people who are involved with smuggling drugs. They are in cahoots with those drug smugglers. In fact, somebody told me that the prerequisite of becoming a LDA officer, you have to be a drug user. Or you have to be a drug dealer. Then you can be able to do the business correctly. Because all of these smugglers have the climb. They are trying to the officer in the LDA. So by the time client John is coming, you hear Officer Paul saying, Officer Paul, I'll be arriving soon to town. Where? And Bow outside. Oh, really? Yeah. Okay, 2-3 me when you arrive. Okay. So that officer is relaxed. By the time that client comes with that substance, that officer already make the ground level. And the thing is, drugs get money. Drugs get money. Drugs is one of the biggest cartel in the world. Even the people selling the small drugs there, Ryan said they get money. And who now want money? Yeah, who now want money? The LDA officer already hustling. They pay. Most of them are just aid. Most of them are just aid. Then you can put some kind of maybe two bugs in a man here. What are the men whole aid money when you can make it? Because most of them get on that kind of commission thing. You know, with their son with it be man, anything, any opiate they carry on, any matter getting a share it. So is that making if somebody coming with huge quantity of drugs, that man live 500 years in one of the officer here, when they be able to use even 2% to share money, man, with the ground level, the 3 ball in the pocket. That man will export that drugs on your order. So that's why the issue of drugs, the influx of drugs in our country is high. And we will not get it to the lowest. I don't want to talk about stopping it, but to the lowest, we will get it at the lowest because our officers who are assigned, especially the LDA officers, they have been compromised. They will say no logistics. Here again, the logistics will be what? The Liberia, Sierra Leone, Cape Verde, Gambia. These are the countries in West Africa that is highly, highly, highly used for drugs trafficking across Europe and Asia. In fact, the drugs smuggler and said some now the American will have to upload the drug because we speak and get it. They don't care because they will not go on serious scrutiny by security officer, especially helping you at work. They will not. They will not. So there will always be a problem with the issue of drugs in our country, and they cannot stop. It cannot even be minimized because you cannot stop it, but it cannot even be minimized. Let me use that thing, minimized, because the officer who should be at the village have been covered. So that's the issue of the smuggling. I don't want to talk about the various known over the river, over the sea, how they bring in the drugs in. If they got to know, they can go and intercept it in deep sea and come with it. Oh, you don't know? You think most of them, the damage structure you see in Singapore, you see all around the world there. You think the people who live in there, how they manage it? They are what their kingdoms that work on deep sea and intercept the drugs. in our pocket and bring it on show. We know also. So now we see the political as the issue of drugs and we laugh at it. Wow, thank God for some of us, thank God for some of our parents, thank God for some of our sisters. The people they don't care because drugs is one of the biggest factors to bring them money. So because of time, let me go to the issue of distribution. So when the smugglers bring it in, hmm, through the help of the LDA officer and who else now, most of the LDA officers can aid the drug dealers, the smugglers, in fact. So when the smugglers bring it in, they get the distributors. The distributors are the people who can carry around to the various ghettos and the various gaps there. Yeah? Yeah. There are some distributors like they get bigger cola on here, they selling bigger cola. They get a baby on a bar. A distributor. Oh, you don't know that? Yeah. Some of them, in fact, the distributors are people who are very, very around us. They are in our environment. They are in our communities. They are in our churches. They are in our mouths. They are in our school. They are in our offices. They are distributors. The last time you heard say they arrested one guy in around the Peninsula South, he took a picture of President Waka during the campaign. You heard that? They say he connected to Joseph Baka's son. Okay. These are distributors. The people got the money. Now make they come to Joseph Baka, maybe doing Joseph Baka campaign and then Joseph Baka needs some pickups to do a campaign in Lima. You never have car, sufficient car to carry somebody campaign. That man, since he's a drugs dealer, he knows that when he supports Joseph Baka, he might not come to Joseph Baka clearly and say, oh, I'm a drug dealer. But he will come and be a help. These are the way they carry themselves. Most of the drugs, the distributors, they are not the good thing, but they are not many people. They can share. Come on, come on, get come on money. If somebody deliver, somebody need assistance, will give it. Because they use that means to buy the sympathy of the community dwellers. That's what they do. They use that means to buy the sympathy of the community dwellers. So the last time you saw that, they said the mental picture of Joseph Baka's son friend. Okay. Apparently, the one I mental that picture, he ate up Waka, the president of Liberia. Somehow, those distributors are people who they normally link themselves with politicians because they want protection. I mean, this Saturday now, maybe I found out representing in district one. Okay, while breaking my yard, one of the distributors there just thought that kind of yard, my man, the mayor can cover it. We say, but gee, why are you doing so? But gee, let's not let 10 I mean, I know him to be a businessman because no matter what it does is this, they will always want to make their money clean. So they will always get business in front of them, in front of the drugs business. Maybe, for example, look at auto part business. The issue of that auto part business is to make the money clean. So that when they go into the bank to deposit their money, it can be like they take the money from auto part business. Or whatever business, maybe clothing, maybe drink, maybe electronic appliances. They will just flash it. Like they're selling electronic appliances or they're selling drinks, they're going bar. But behind that business, they are selling drugs. So as a representative of America in a year, they offer me 10,000 for a salary that I'm a medical here over Gaza. Oh yeah, they are relaxed. People are coming to my door every day knocking, they come to lawmaker, come to lawmaker. So now it's not even easy on me, but because I represent the national like everything around with me. You know, I have to give that 12,000, give me 10,000. I use that money for some of my people. Today or tomorrow, if that man get in trouble, you will need my help. So that I even back out as gift. But recently, you have Musa Bede's son, he was sentenced for 4 years. He have a clique. There are people, they always align with politicians because they want to be protected. And the LDA, when the former LDA directors were there, AB Kroma and all, you heard the conversation. You heard it. It was not in hearing. These are reality. The people are on the street selling drugs. They distribute. They are very kind people. That's why you see drugs is far around the community like they selling and make it a better bomb. Because the very communities are stealing those distributors. They are stealing those drugs dealers because those drugs dealers are helping to some of them. We're in a poor society. Well, we get brown them man. You got a community chairman. That's why just dealing the community in years and we don't get better. Oh, this community I won't get better. We have this we must go to the hospital. I've just the other one or the pay the hospital bill. I have to do thing. You think when the LDA can't arrest that man and has a community say, oh, we're going to just deal. You think I'm not going to shoot that man? That's the reason why you see the influx of drugs in the community. Because the very community, they are protecting the drug distributors, the drug dealers. So you see how the drugs issues is just overwhelming our society, young children, young people, people with potential, it is killing destiny, not on the street. Children who should be of help to the society. We say we want job, we want government. When the government bring people and get job in now, who will be able to do the job? Will we bring foreigners to do the job now? Because most of us are going to Zogo. One guy told me, say, men didn't have because most of the men who are supposed to be our girlfriend are Zogo. I saw one of the students deciding better for him. Oh, he looks sorry for she's a very big drugs distributor who in the latest coming to the far car. But she's selling drugs, not drugs, but better cola on there, we put in the cola there later. The slip on her foot, you see her, she feel like she looks sorry for people. But she's gonna pick up the distributor. Oh, you don't know? But everything boils down to what? Everything boils down to the end user. I want to make very dear man. I can walk. So now I see oh, I really I can walk. You know, sort of talk where we can't because they can't still they can apply on the user. They can't still LDA man can apply on the user. The man who taking the drug the user now. The man who was taking on the guy these are the users. They can't still they can apply on the user. If they were applying the strength on the smugglers and the distributors, then we will not have the kind of situation we have with drugs in our country. We will not have the kind of situation we have with drugs in our country. We see a man going for one drug user in the ghetto, the way they be going, that kind of morale. That's a man who's smoking one line or one something. If they were using that strength on those who was smoking the drugs into the country, then by this time we will not have the kind of the kind of therefore which we have reached with the issue of drugs in our country. We don't have the kind of locals, we don't have the kind of zogis, we don't have the kind of overwhelming society where young people are into drugs. Destiny have been destroyed. Potential young people who should be who should be impactful to the society, the growth and development of this country. The good thing about Liberia, our nation, our country, we have young people. They are in majority, unlike other countries. Say they have more population than us. As soon as they are, they have more population. It's about 15 million people. Between 13 to 15 million people. The last time I checked. In like Liberia, we haven't even reached 6 million people. Hmm? Well, out of that, we have 60+% of the population are young people. In out of that population of young people, about 300,000 are Zogo. In fact, well, that before it's a big in Monrovia, Zogos are all around. The last time I went in the hinterland, in the bush, I saw Zogo, very chronic Zogo, very chronic Zogo. When we see street, that is a vampire in the hinterland, the interior part, I was afraid because we got the drugs distributors and people drugs with mining stuff. They always the places where they're moving. These are things we are facing in our country. Anytime your police are just the last time Joey are in power with the rest of 100 million drugs. Up to now, we know what that drugs do, why they point out drugs, what they point out drugs, people have other people. Joseph Parker will come in and say, Joey are bringing kush, Joey are doing it. Joseph Parker, you can hear the people talking about drugs. Their priority is drugs. So you cannot politicize drugs because it is not something to be politicized. We gotta fight the thing. We gotta fight the thing. We gotta fight with sincerity. And I push towards the fight against drugs to be holistic. It shouldn't be about party law. It should be a national agenda. Senator Dillon said he built a rehabilitation center. Look, don't get me wrong, rehabilitation center is not bad. And all of those who are doing rehabilitation is not bad. Don't get me wrong. But we should be more of, how do I call it? We should be more focused on preventing the preventive aspect of drugs than, and and then curing it. When I mean curing it, the rehabilitation aspect of it. Eh? We should be more preventive of drugs than rehabilitating. What do I mean? Like the saying goes, they say prevention is better than cure. So because you get a cure, so you must grab the disease. No, it's better if you prevent the disease than for you to grab the disease and cure it. Because in curing there are some side effects. There are possibility that it might not even be cured. So building rehabilitation centers in the below and all people there, the reason I mentioned in the below because it's a center. You want to move him on the rest of the agenda. And you're always bragging about the rehabilitation center. No, it is not sufficient in the below. Let me give you ideas in the below. Your approach towards the fight against drugs should be more preventive than building rehabilitation center. Because building rehabilitation center is encouraging the usage of drugs. Oh, yeah, go take it when we come for you, we rehabilitate you. And the possibility of rehabilitating those people is a 50-50. Assuming you go and take 100 drug users from the ghetto because the rehabilitation center. Yeah? And at that rehabilitation center, you use like maybe 6 months to 1 year to rehabilitate those 100 drug users to there. But within that 6 months to 1 year period, by using to rehabilitate that 100 people to the ghetto, you get about 200 persons in a period of time going back to the ghetto. So you see what I mean about preventing. So you took 100 persons from the ghetto, 100 drug users from the ghetto to go and rehabilitate at your rehabilitation center. It's good. But within that 6 month period to rehabilitate that 100 persons, you have 200 persons going to the ghetto. So on the scale, we have more people going to the ghetto than the people taking from the ghetto. So you see how the proliferation of drug users is on the increase because you take 6 months to rehabilitate 100 persons. Within a period of time, you get 200 persons going into the ghetto. So it will always overwhelm you. It will always overwhelm you. So there are preventive measures that should be put into place. The rehabilitation center is that is necessary, but if the preventive measure is considered more, eh, you will have less people going to the rehabilitation center, and you'll be able to cater to those the rehabilitation center more than you'll be overwhelmed when you have it running alone. Somebody say, but what do you mean by that? Okay. Senator Dillon is a senator, and like every other senators, they are drugs law. The last time President we are leaving power, I can recall he signed to law and making the issue of drugs non-billable. How active is that law? Is it active? Is it active? It's not as compared to what we think or what should be done. The law is there. But are we acting upon the law that is on the book? No. We're not acting upon it. Even parents in the home are not helping their children. They are stigmatizing their kids, those drug users. Sometimes, look, it is out of peer pressure. Some of those children go to the ghetto. So sometimes you have to talk to them as parents. They need counseling. You need to talk to them. You don't need to stigmatize them and say, you move from here, you go, you don't come here. So they feel rejected. And the only place they feel welcome is back in the ghetto. So that's why they go back in the ghetto. Sometimes they want to come out of the ghetto. Sometimes they are fed up with the situation in the ghetto. But coming outside, they have been stigmatized. They have been rejected in the community, in the society. So there are a lot more need to be done. Not because Howard's son is not taking drugs, so Sarah's son, and Howard's son is not taking drugs, and Sarah's son is taking drugs. That means Howard's son is better than Sarah's son. No. For the fact that Howard's son is not taking drugs and Sarah's son is taking drugs, Howard should be cautious. She should be cautioned saying that their team is something that her child and Sarah's child can affiliate. They can mingle. There are places they can meet. The possibility of son taking drugs is slim. So she should not sit there and just follow him. She should be playing a role or so that Sarah's son, can get the necessary words. Sometimes people just need words. Like one time I met one other guy. It's like he was asking one of his men. He was holding water for somebody in the community. Came in the ghetto or holding water for somebody in the community. So he was asking him, man, my man, who got good stuff on that block? And my man, but he meant to that one for him, baby don't know. So the man said, Mama, leave me. He said, my pig, I'm blaming you. I like drugs, me, all I will come to. But he's an educated. You hear his voice, you hear what he hear the output, you know that he's educated. He said, I like drugs, put all out together, my pig. I will do thing, but one day will lead a thing. I sat down and listened to him and said, so he really want to leave this. So there are a lot more. But we hope to be here next week to talk more about this. But let me take a break. And when I come back, then I'll start to take your calls, your reaction. Maybe your reaction. I need your reaction. Yeah, I need your reaction. Let me announce the number. I'll take a break. When I come back, then we start to take your calls. So 0772 2399 33, 0772 239933. 0772 2399 33, 0777 980 375, 0777 980 375, or the Lone Star line 0886 30 44 97. 0886 30 44 97 are the numbers to call. You're going to be live on the broadcast this morning. And maybe you have your own recommendation. You have something to say towards our conversation here this morning. But let me take a gist of the theme song. When I come back, then I start to take your calls on the program this morning. Yeah, let's see the whole world cry. I don't know about you. Let's see the whole world cry. Yeah. You too here to see the whole world cry. And today's edition of the program, we are talking about drugs, narcotic substances, with emphasis on the smuggling, the distribution, and the usage of it. So, if you want to be a part of it this morning, you can call me on the following numbers: 0772 2399 33, 0772 2399 33, or 0777 980 0777 980 or the Lone Star line 0886 30 44. Person is on the line. Good morning and welcome.
Hello?
Good morning. You're live.
Hey, I'm Mr. Cherry.
Mr. Cherry.
Yeah, from Project Giant.
It's good to have you, Mr. Cherry. Calling us from.
I'm calling from Broadway End.
Okay, 1 minute, Mr. Cherry, because of time.
Yeah, okay. You have said it all already. You have said it all. And because you saw the said they are listening, and they are be told. The first thing is, but you take it something example. And you know, you are not taking it, you're not putting it in the kind of thing they are going through. What else is happening with them? So that if you are still going to go into it, then I think you should be for yourself. So, you don't be told, you don't be too more than you guys into what they are doing. But however, while the Canadian government power brought against the former president, he was very, very, urgent, and people know that they are supporters. People are supporters. Everybody know that they are strong supporters, and we are finding out that if the president saw a speak to him, a speaker into him, they country everybody know. So that's my info that's going to tell you. Don't country that, yes. Because I saw in the country, and I'm going to know where it's becoming more than ever before.
Okay, thank you so much. You made the point. That's going to line two and take this question. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Yeah, you live. Tell us the name.
Yeah, my name is Tony Esquire calling from Balancing Bill.
Okay,
About the just issue. That one thing I just want to say.
Yeah, 1 minute. Go ahead.
Yeah, people can change on the judge if we are doing mobilization, like the government, not just to be running behind people in the community, but then at least to be able to talk to some people, few people like the hospital people where they can do it. Sometimes they can't on the street, HRV and all of things. So that will be able to make people to change. But running behind people in the community about drug issue will not bring the changes in Liberia. But people got to get on the street, go and talk to them in the field. That will make
you
people
need
to
to
change.
awareness, right?
Yeah, awareness. That
Okay.
will bring peace in our country.
Okay, brother. Thanks so much. Your recommendation is well taken. I hope you very quickly apologies and listening, and we will take you 0772
All right.
Okay, thank you so much. 0772 23 0 980 375 the loans are now 086 30 44 97. The numbers to call, and you're gonna be live from the broadcast this morning. And tell us, maybe you have something to say to our brother, make your own recommendation. You can make your own recommendation. And suggestion out there to the fight to become a holistic fight. Yeah, it's a holistic. Yeah. Telling people now want to talk more about it because we're getting money from it. Yeah. Telling people now want to they don't want to come hard on it because that's how they are getting their money. Like I said, they think their money. So when you sit on there as a imam, you sit on there as a pastor, you sit on there as a mother, you sit on there as a deacon, and see that you get God come here and come fight for God. Our society will just remain like that. The people who are supposed to take over the country when the old generation is no longer around or able to do the work, will just perish. So that's it. Let's go to the telephone line. This person is there. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
You live. Tell us the name, please.
I'm Eric going from Ganto. Eric going from Ganto.
Eric.
Yeah, going from Ganto.
And that's Ganto this morning.
Yeah, it's very cool in terms. This is just issues this country that brother have safety.
Come again?
Yeah, so there's just issues this country that brother have safety. That have safety. It just will be run politics.
Well, no system.
Yes. Let me tell you. Okay, 2019. For me, I live at the border.
Okay.
For me, the business I do, I'm a transporter. I will not have it for the other time, but I rest on it. 2019, I left from that place and then I went to Abidjan to receive some of the guys that were living from Nigeria and Ghana. I have two generals that were coming with me. And then they pay me each time when I cross them I bring them to time, each of the trade is one far, they give me. So after I went and I received them to Ajame in Abidjan, the other man gave me the food. Then the other man had told me to keep the boots on him. And we were coming to Ghana. After we got to the place, I think around Boaké, taking Boaké to the gate. Those guys they call it anti-drug. That the DA needed in Africa is anti-drug. So after we reached there, I don't know what information that hit there. After we did, they stopped this bus. And then we got down on the bus. So many get in the car. They charged everybody. The guy on that side, they checked the car twice, I think 3 different times. They want to make it 4, and then they went. The Ghana guy, what have you on him? The Nigerian guy who was in my possession. The Ghana guy who was with him, because for him, all this action was because you're not telling 100% who was in possession, but I was bringing 200 of them. Okay. And then after the guy get in the car, the first time I had to call the Ghana guy, and then they came him to the DA office, the anti-drug office. We went there, and they before the judge. We paid those guy with 10 million, which is almost 1,000 plus US. That was 2 gentle guys who composed that day. The minute said no. Yeah, 10 million. We paid them with it. The minute said no. I called the guy, I was just asking there was no trouble. I called those guys and then they came to me. I said, oh, that raised the money of maybe to 2 million, which is 2,000 US. The man said, no problem. Give me 10 million, say something, which is 2,500. Man said, you're waiting to pay. The man said, I'll give you 10 million, say something. There's no charity. So 2 gentle guys, they said, no, they can't accept that 2,500,000, which is 2,500 US. The guy said, no, they rejected it more. And then they took the Ghana man, they came back to Abidjan. And then Nigeria got him and said, how will you look at the border? I'm going to pay to cross. So Ghana gave me $700 US to cross. I want to pay $100 US to cross with the judge. And I think I'll enter Israel with it. If you pay those DA Ghana with good money, you're going to enter in this country. You see how the Ghana refused them? 2 men refused $2,500 US. Because the men know how many they make a month. They rejected this money. So Liberia have business.
And how many men you see the $100 from you, Liberia?
There were 3.
Okay.
3 guys, they can't give me $700 US to spend on the gate to pass. I will reach to the African border. government, I'm job with all three, and I'm trust. But after I read to my start, I start speaking my own language, the time, I put 400 minutes or hard. No one said, why is going on? I really standing with the step one. I went straight to the office. What do? I pass it. I enter it again. What is good of going? So we to tell them that I have to go to tell them. I to the Buddha, I to tell them Buddha. What the man was, I have to money between that science and new balance what the water. And then I get the goose. I want to reach to the Buddha street. And then I put my one spot. I think back to so what kind of things like this? No system. When you paying those guys with good money, when you paying them with good money, I don't think that the men will compromise.
Oh, okay. You make a point. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. You make a point. You gotta pay them good money. That's the point. Okay. That's cool. I mean, we can consider that. You know, especially security, you gotta consider that. So we can take like 2 more calls and maybe 2 more calls and call it a day. But if we can, then that's it. Let's try to be back next Saturday. And like I said, we might talk more about climate change on next Saturday. Yeah, issue of climate change. That is a all good. So thanks so much. Well, let me see if I can get at least 2 more calls. 2 more president. If we can. That'll be like probably a day for this edition of the program. But again, the issue of drugs is high. Look, the last time I passed you Central Street. What? Say human being. Human being, what be human being? Eh? Human being, what be human being? Let's take this person on line too. Good morning. Yeah, you live. Tell us the name, please.
I'm not Debbie Moore, calling from my background.
Okay, Mr. Moore, you can have these. You can lower the button of the radio small.
Yeah, that's how far for you now.
Okay, Mr. Moore. Thanks so much. Tell us. Okay.
Yeah, the issue of the drugs business in Liberia. You know, we having some other people that can say this person is my interest.
Okay.
The DEA will go for these people and hold them with the drugs. They will have a big hand. I would say, yeah, that man is my interest. And you see that particular man are selling the drugs right after 2 or 3 days, he out. He come back to do a normal business.
When the DEA will arrest.
Yes.
This is my question. My interest.
Yes, someone will call and say that man is my interest. Give the man no more. Yeah, that particular person is my interest. Then you come out and know what to do with that person.
Are you a DA officer? Because it's something like you speak. I mean, speaking with experience.
No, I'm not a DA officer. But what I live, we experience those things around our community. How other people in our community are doing those business.
Okay.
You know, after 2-3 days, you see them outside again.
All right.
And when they come outside, they will be boasting. What did they do to me? Nothing. I hope people in my pocket, or the people in my pocket. See?
Okay.
I'm making an issue of justice. They will not be seized in Liberia. It will be rampant.
Okay. Thank you so much, this person. Let me squeeze the person.
Yes. Good morning.
Yeah, morning. Tell us the name.
Thank you very much, brother. I'm Senator Mohammed, and I call for Down Coastal Hill, Winter Community. Brother, thank you very much for this just issue. You know, the just issue for me, I look at it from this angle.
Okay.
I mean, Liberians, we are not being sincere to ourselves. Most of the special guys are in power today. You guys are in power today. Instead of taking a just issue to be a national issue, they took it a personal issue against President Weah. They said it was President Weah and a government official that were making drugs. So they didn't make it to look like a national pandemic.
Okay.
But instead, they took it to be George Weah and a government official that were making drugs. Today, they are here today, and the drug issue is overwhelming them. They are the cause. Because if they had helped President Weah to make the drug issue to look like a national pandemic, everyone is going to be interested in fighting it. But now, you saw the president taking drug tests. You saw the vice president taking drug tests. And today, drug is more than before. So, the only question we get is every Liberian need to work together and fight this drug issue and make it like a holistic issue and stop making this drug issue to be a regional government issue or a particular government issue. That's the only way to work with this government. Every Liberian put their feet to the fire and fight against it holistically. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You make a point, Mr. Mohammed. Well, accept.